Right now, Martha.
We like eagles floating on ice, too, here at The Story. Thank you very much, Brett. Have a good night. So tonight, everybody, we have brand new reaction here on The Story to the new text messages uncovered tonight. So you've got two agents, you've got 4 phones, you've got thousands of text messages, once believed to be lost. Many of them still are lost, but there are new ones tonight that are just being exposed to the country. So what's inside them could confirm or deny what the FBI's harshest critics have been saying for months. Good evening, everybody. I'm Martha MacCallum. Welcome to The Story. One of the latest conversations uncovered between Strzok and Page, reportedly discussing one of their worst fears, upsetting the future president, Hillary Clinton, referring to their upcoming interview with candidate Clinton. Page wrote, "She might be our next president. The last thing you need is us going in there loaded for bear. You think she's going to remember or care that it was more DOJ or FBI?" Strzok responds, "Agreed." It is so stunning that they talk this way on their government-owned phones about the work they were doing for the FBI. Chief Washington correspondent Ed Henry, live at the White House with the breaking news. So, Ed, obviously they were worried that they might make her mad if they asked her tough questions in there, and that alone seems pretty clear from this one.
It does, Martha. And breaking tonight, the Department of Justice Inspector General, as you noted, has now recovered thousands of text messages between these two FBI officials from a later time period. These messages from an earlier time period that lawmakers are just going through seems to confirm an anti-Trump bias, a pro-Clinton bias that is going to pour gasoline on this fire. Just moments ago, Republican Charles Grassley revealed he's seen some of those new text messages, and they show these FBI officials worried about how they be perceived, as you said, by a future President Hillary Clinton if they were too tough. The exact concern that allies of President Trump have been raising. Then other new texts we're seeing show in March 2016, Peter Strzok and Lisa Page talked about the possibility of a need for a special counsel to investigate the Clinton email situation. They even raised the possibility of bringing back Patrick Fitzgerald, who was the special counsel in the Valerie Plame case. Strzok saying, don't forget that James Comey, who had been Deputy Attorney General in the Bush administration, appointed Fitzgerald as special counsel in the Plame matter, and that he was there for Comey's investiture. Strzok, I could work with him again, and damn, we'd get bleep done. Now, more troubling texts over the fact that in December 2016, the James Comey-led FBI sent Grassley a letter insisting it had not been necessary for the deputy director of the FBI, Andrew McCabe, to recuse himself from the Clinton case, even though his wife had gotten political money from Clinton pal and Virginia Governor Terry McAuliffe. Well, these new messages show that James Rybicki, the chief of staff at the FBI, who, remember, this week we learned is stepping down from his post amid controversy about his role in drafting Comey's exoneration statement about Clinton. Well, Rybicki in October 2016 privately said McCabe should have recused himself. Page saying in a text, Rybicki just called to check in. He very clearly 100% believes Andy should be recused because of the, quote, perception. Strzok, God. Page, our statement affected the stock market. He's talking about a statement about reopening the Clinton probe because of Anthony Weiner. Page, don't understand your email. If it's a matter similar to those we've been talking about lately, why no recusal? Something different? Strzok, I assume McAuliffe picked up, but that doesn't make sense. He said he was interviewing. Maybe he's headed into private practice. So these are new messages from March and October 2016. Remember, we had been told that there are even more messages from December 2016 through May 2017 that were gone. Well, government officials now tell Fox the Justice Department got those back. They took possession of at least 4 phones belonging to these FBI officials, a development that Trump aides jumped on.
We think that these text messages are very significant. The fact that they went missing is a real big problem. You have Peter Strzok, this individual who is in charge of an investigation that we have long maintained is a witch hunt, for which there's no collusion, no obstruction, no evidence of wrongdoing. And now this individual has been removed from the case for political bias. We think this development is good. We want to obviously make sure that as many messages are recovered as possible and that the truth about political bias at the highest ranks of the FBI is made available to the public.
Now, in addition to the messages on these government phones, breaking tonight, Grassley says it appears that Strzok and Page were also transmitting federal records about the Clinton case, the federal case itself, on non-governmental devices, because there are some exchanges where they say, look, I Gmailed you something about the case. Can you print this out on your home computer? Can you send this back through the Gmail? So that's raising more questions about whether we may find even more messages in the days ahead, Martha.
Yeah, extended phones, and it's just the irony there is rich, that they were in the middle of the Clinton case and they're sending government documents on phones that are not their authorized FBI phones. You know, meanwhile, they're texting this stuff on the FBI phone.
Could have broken the law.
Go figure.
Right. And if you destruction of those federal records could break the law, as Grassley points out tonight.
Great point. Ed, thank you so much. So here with more, Charles Hurt, Washington Times political columnist and Fox News contributor, and Juan Williams, co-host of The Five and a Fox News political analyst. I mean, Juan, let's start with the loaded for bear comment. Don't go in there loaded for bear when you are interviewing Hillary Clinton. Remember, she might be the next president.
Sure, but I think this is, to my mind, the basis on which people could say, well, gosh, FBI agents talk like we do, like everybody, you know, it's like going through your underwear drawer, Martha. I mean, everybody's going to find something, say, oh, gosh. But the question is it the case that they acted in such a way as to protect Hillary Clinton? Do we have any evidence of that?
Right.
Do we have any evidence that, in fact, what we are seeing here is corruption and political bias at the FBI? I don't think we see that yet.
You're absolutely right. I mean, that is the question. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Charles. This stuff looks terrible. I mean, I wonder where these two people are. Does anybody know where they are? I've never seen a story like this where you don't see them leaving their house, getting in their car, coming out from work. Don't you think it's weird that they, just as an aside, that no one has laid eyes on them?
Yeah, I would like to see a tabloid crew following these two everywhere.
We have a new
went.
picture. Is that a new picture?
Exactly. Yeah. But can I just say, Juan, I've never heard you talk like this, and I actually don't know many people that do talk like this. But they sound like a couple of teenagers in a high school play trying to pretend to be corrupt FBI agents. They
were having an affair, Charlie.
Well, there you go. That adds a little sizzle to all of it. But the underlying, the conspiracy, the collusion between these two, and the clear effort to obstruct justice. We've been hearing about all this, but little did we know that it was all going on within the investigation into the Hillary Clinton email case in the first place. I find these things to be absolutely stunning. I think that it does raise real questions about, I don't know if this stuff goes so far as to break the law, but it certainly undermines that investigation and I think raises serious questions about whether either one of them ever should have been in this position of authority.
Let's take a look at this, because another big question here is whether or not Republicans have gone out on a limb, and we're going to talk to Darrell Issa in just a moment, with this 4-page memo. Have they overextended? Did they get over their skis on the 4-page memo? Because they came out and said it's like Watergate, it's a smoking gun. If that's the case, why haven't they been able to release it? They have a majority on that committee, majority in the House, majority in the Senate. The president has to sign it. So Juan first, and then Charlie. Let's actually play this soundbite first. This is Ron Johnson, Senator, and Senator Schumer on this, and then I'll get your thoughts.
I think there's indications there were a number of high-level FBI officials that were holding secret meetings off-site.
Republican members of this body, I am ashamed to say, picked up on casual texts sent between FBI agents to peddle the nonsense that there is a secret society at the Department of Justice without a shred of evidence.
Juan first, then Charlie.
Dark, no?
Well, even Senator Johnson said today, it might be a joke, but again, this kind of
referring to the secret society comment.
Yeah, but all this is not. I mean, to pick up on what Charlie was saying, so people on the right, people who want to protect President Trump, therefore look at it and say, hey, this could be something. These people in their private communications, however casual or in jest, nonetheless do not appear to be supportive of President Trump. The problem at the moment, and the reason they don't release it, is that even the Trump Justice Department has described the release as an act that would be considered reckless and undermining public integrity and confidence in the FBI, the Department of Justice, and without a real understanding of the larger context, because the memo was written by Republicans who it seems are out to protect Trump more so than they are anything else.
Charlie.
No, Juan, you know that those officials in the DOJ and the FBI who don't want this released, they're career people. They're not, they do ostensibly work for Donald Trump, but they're career people trying to protect their fellow career workers. I think the real reason that Republicans are reticent to just sort of pull the trigger on this is because they're so stunned by all of this. They kind of find, as a lot of regular people looking on it, it's hard to believe that actually these people are actually enunciating these things. And obviously the line about the secret society, when I could believe that was done in jest. That is the least damning thing that has come out of all of this, whether it's the loaded for bear thing or the concerns about, I feel like I created this situation, so I need to fix it, or the idea that they need to have an alternative insurance policy in case he gets elected.
I
it's
agree
really
with you.
terrifying.
I think the most damning one actually might be the loaded for bear one, because he was questioning her.
Yes.
So he's
And
agreeing.
she's
He's
worried about her
agreeing
own
when I go
career.
in there, you're right, I better go easy on her because she could be the president and she might remember. So I think that's probably the worst one that we've seen.
And look at what happened. They did go easy on
That's
her,
exactly
and they
right.
let her off on all of it.
Exactly right. I got to go. Thank you, guys. Great to see you both.
Thanks,
Take
Mark.
care.
So listening to all this and sitting here with me on the set is Congressman Darrell Issa. It's good to have you in New York, from California, of course, and sits on the House Judiciary and Foreign Affairs Committee. You're shaking your head. What's your take?
Well, Juan doesn't know this, but Deputy McCabe has already said that she was treated like no other witness. And as that comes out, the soft peddling, the actual sworn testimony, people are going to realize that both the Benghazi investigation and then the email that followed up, these are examples where there's two sets of standards. But I want to give a shout out. Both in Benghazi investigation and now at the Department of Justice, it's an inspector general, a watchdog that goes, still part of the executive branch, that goes out and finds these things. At the IRS, it was the inspector general, a watchdog, independent watchdog. These men and women, about 74 key IGs, continue to be the best tools we have to get past the fact that there's an internal bias, and you mentioned it. People have this bad habit of thinking they protect the institution. For the years I was on the Select Intelligence Committee and for the years I chaired oversight, I discovered that the highest level of classification at any agency is unclassified but embarrassing. That the reality is they will do more to keep you from seeing something that embarrasses than they will some Russian spy.
Yeah, I think there's something, to protect the institution, to protect the way of life, to protect your job, if it's embarrassing, I think I agree with you. It's probably the bar here in some cases. What about this 4-page memo? Because we talked to Representative Gates, we spoke with other people.
The bad news
is
I've read
so
it.
damning. So
Well,
is it as damning as the perception? And is Comey named in there? Is Mueller named in there?
Okay. Because I've read it, of course I can't tell you. But what I can tell you is that it is a roadmap. It was written by the majority, but it is a roadmap to the support documents would also have to be made available of just how bad it is and just how wrong.
Meaning what?
Well, the actions that were taken in this memo alleges actions that I read it, that I believe, and I can't authenticate one versus another, but many of them have been reported. And now it's a question of you see the memo and it gives you the roadmap to what actually happened.
People need to, we need to see this thing.
Well, and you asked the question.
Is that going to happen?
It is going to happen, but here's why it's taking so long. Member after member, and Democrats are choosing not to read it for the most part, member after member has to go down and read it. We cannot ask the Select Intelligence Committee to declassify
It's 4 pages.
I understand, but to get members to go read a document and then be in the situation I'm in where I could talk about all the things we think we know. Once you've read it, until the American people see it, you're locked out of talking about it. But I will tell you, the American people have an absolute right to know this, just like some of these other investigations that we've had.
And are you confident that they will?
I'm confident that the committee will vote. I'm sad to say Adam Schiff and the Democrats will all vote no. But then when the people of America see the 4 pages and then the additional documents, what they're going to see is we have a problem in the FISA court.
So you have no fear whatsoever that when this comes out, people aren't going to say, well, that was a lot of nothing.
The American people keep hearing about FISA courts. They keep hearing about
They're looking for
702.
corruption in the FBI. That's basically the message that has been sent, that it's going to be so damning that people are going to be fired as soon as it gets read.
I'm less concerned about that than I am that we have to fix the institution that allows your Fourth Amendment, your privacy rights to be circumvented using these techniques. You know, remember, this all started off, this whole investigation with the special prosecutor started off trying to prove that Trump's, incoming administration colluded with the Russians. Right. And now what you actually have is the Department of Justice colluding with the Democratic Party.
We have two sides of this equation that everybody wants to know the answers to. Congressman Darrell Issa, thank you.
Thank you, Martha.
Really good to see you tonight. So breaking tonight, the White House just released its immigration plan, and it includes a path to citizenship for dreamers. In fact, many more dreamers than originally discussed. It's a big deal. The details coming up. And President Trump wrapping up a successful first day in Davos by his own assessment of all of it. He said it went very well. He met with several key allies, talking America first, his agenda in terms of how he sees America's place in the world. So does it work? Bill Bennett with his assessment right after this.
I think the real message is we want great prosperity and we want great peace. And I think that really is the message.
Tomorrow, see the film critics are calling stunning, magnificent, beautiful, astounding. Don't miss Academy Award winner Christian Bale, Hostel, rated R, tomorrow.
Patrick woke up with back pain, but he has work to do, so he took a leave. If he'd taken Tylenol, he'd be stopping for more pills right now. Only Aleve has the strength to stop tough pain for up to 12 hours with just one pill. Aleve, all day strong.
Hot flashes, moodiness, my weight. It's like the invasion of the body snatchers, except it's my body. Who do I have to know to get it back?
Only Estroven has a line of formulas to help safely stop hot flashes and more. Safe, trusted Estroven.
Millions of you are online right now searching one topic. That will generate over 600 million results. And if you've been diagnosed with cancer, searching for answers, like where to treat, can feel even more overwhelming. So start your search with a specialist at Cancer Treatment Centers of America. Start with teams of cancer treatment experts under one roof. Start where specialists use advanced genomic testing to guide precision cancer treatment that may lead to targeted therapies and more treatment options. Start where there's a commitment to analyzing the latest research and conducting clinical trials to help each patient get the personalized cancer care they deserve. Start at one of the Cancer Treatment Centers of America hospitals near you. The evolution of cancer care is here. Learn more at cancercenter.com/experts. Appointments available now.
I just found this amazing website called Adore Me. They have tons of bras, PJs, underwear, all from petite to plus.
I know your phone's out, so look them up.
Valentine's Day special. Your first set starts at just $14.95 with VIP membership at adoreme.com.
I've got to tell you something important. It's not going to be easy. Quicksilver earns you unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere. Actually, that's super easy. My bad.
Wouldn't it be great to go on a luxury vacation where everything's included and unlimited? Sandals, the world's only 5-star luxury included resorts. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
The White House media exposed. Howard Kurtz has controversial new details. Plus, he continues to attack Trump. Now, Laura battles Mexico's former president on the next Ingram Angle.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
What if you could lose fat in just a few hours?
I don't know what to say. I'm just in shock.
You can with Sono Bello.
It seems no matter how much you work out or diet, there are parts of your body that just don't seem to change.
I went to the gym, I worked out at home, I bought videos.
No matter what I did, that bulge was still there.
With its advanced micro-laser technology,
Sono Bello gently removes that targeted fat and shapes your body for life-changing results.
As America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, Sono Bello has performed over 100,000 personalized body and facial procedures, helping tens of thousands of people change their their lives.
After 5 years trying to get rid of that roll of fat, Sono Bello did it in one day.
Call for your free no-obligation consultation today and get $250 off your Sono Bello body.
Payment plans are available.
Call 888-317-1425 or go to sonobello.com.
I just want to say that there's been a lot of warmth, a lot of respect for our country, and I think also being a cheerleader for our country. You know, if you're not a cheerleader for your company or for your country, no matter what happens, it's not going to work.
President Trump, the CEO, at work in Davos today, rubbing elbows with business leaders who plan to invest in the United States. Earlier today, the president met with key foreign allies. Here with more, Bill Bennett served as education secretary under President Reagan and is a Fox News contributor. Bill, good to see you tonight, as always. You know, it was interesting watching him work that room today with the CEOs, complimenting them on their investment, asking them about their businesses. I mean, this is Donald Trump, the businessman, at work.
Yeah, say that I was a cheerleader for my country, as you guys are cheerleaders for your companies. I was thinking of Martin Luther King, say that I was a drum major for justice, the same rhythm there. Cheerleader for your country. You know, I'm so glad we saw it. Many of us saw it live on TV. It was on the Fox News channel. Because if we hadn't seen it live, Martha, we would have heard Trump met with a number of CEOs. It was cordial but distant. In fact, it was not. It was extremely friendly. These guys went around the table, heads of Siemens, HSBC Bank, Anheuser-Busch, Nestle's,
Deloitte,
Bayer.
SAP,
These are huge companies. Deloitte, and they not only said, you know, congratulations on being president, congratulations on your tax bill, congratulations on getting that through, that's terrific. And then they said, and we're coming to America. We're going to invest $2 billion. We're going to have 10,000 jobs here, there, Charlotte, all over America. This was a tribute to the president's leadership. And again, I'm glad we saw it live because I'm worried otherwise how it might be reported in some places.
Yeah, you know, whenever he has these kinds of meetings, you know, you're sitting, you're watching things, you're working in your office. I turn them up because I find it very interesting to watch the natural interactions, as you say, and just to read the body language and see what everybody thinks. And you know, there's a lot of smiles, a lot of discussion back and forth. He's inquiring with them about their companies. What percentage is this, you know, this product at your company? What does it represent? So, you know, I did think that was interesting. And it also reveals that he knew that he was not walking into a globalist, you know, lion's den. He had this meeting in mind, I would guess, when he went there in the first place.
Yeah, and people weren't offended. These people weren't offended by America First. They understand that America being strong means strength for the world. If America isn't strong, who is strong? Well, do you want a stronger China than you want a stronger America? So I think they very much welcomed that. But it was just very, very good to see, as you say. There were some people who said when he gets to Davos, it's not going to be very friendly. You know, this is the globalist group.
Right.
But these businessmen understand what he is about and what he's doing for them, and most important for America.
In terms of the United Kingdom, there have been some sticky moments between Theresa May. She's criticized the president at times, but I just want to show everyone at home a little bit of the exchange they had today.
We have the same ideas, the same ideals, and there's nothing that would happen to you that we won't be there to fight for you. You know that. And I just want to thank you very much. This is a great honor to be with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Obviously our most important ally, and there has been some friction. The president canceled a trip to London, and now he's apparently going to go.
Yeah, well, family quarrels, family disputes, but we remember who our friends are and who our allies are, and Great Britain remembers who its major friend and major ally is. So I think it's fine to have some of these disagreements and then make these statements, as was made today, that makes it clear this is like a disagreement inside the family. Again, showing Donald Trump as he really is, not these characterizations of him. It's just very encouraging.
One last thought. John Kerry, according to a report in the Jerusalem Post, was basically encouraging, you know, an aide to Mahmoud Abbas, saying, you know, within a year, President Trump will be gone. Hold on and be strong is his message to Abbas. Tell him that he should stay strong in his spirit and play for time. He also said, as I said, he would be gone within a year and that the Republican Party doesn't know what to do with Trump. It's a difficult period back at home. Your thoughts, Bill?
Yeah, well, it's attributed to Kerry. Even I don't want to believe that this was said. I'm a critic of Kerry and have been for some time, but I can't believe he said that. I mean, Logan Act aside, it is really inappropriate to talk about that. His time is short. Stay with it. Be patient. Boy, can they do anything else other than think about the midterms and 3 years from now? They just are going crazy with the Trump presidency. But shame on John Kerry if he said that.
Yeah.
I can't believe he did. I really hope
another
he did.
element of that report was that he said that he, would consider running again in 2020. It would be pretty crowded if there's any truth to that.
Right. Oprah's out and Kerry's in. There you go. Okay.
Bill Bennett, always good to see you, Bill. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Martha. Great.
Still to come tonight, Congress is cracking down today on those helping fuel the opioid epidemic in America. But this former narcotics cop and father says, believe him, no one is immune. His message to you tonight. Plus, the White House just released its much-anticipated immigration plan. Nobody really expected this to drop tonight, but it did. Mark Thiessen and Emily Sussman weigh in next.
The solution to this problem is to keep it simple. If you start putting in all of these highly charged, toxic issues, it's just not going to work.
I don't have my wallet, so.
Perfect. You can send a digital payment.
I don't have one of those payment apps.
Perfect. You have a US-based bank account, right?
I have Wells Fargo.
Perfect. Then you should have Zelle.
Perfect.
Perfect.
The #1 mobile banking app just got better.
Does your coach use Zelle too?
Of course.
Another way we're building better every day.
Your body was made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis. Before you and your rheumatologist move to another treatment, ask if Xeljanz XR is right for you. Xeljanz XR is a once-daily pill for adults with moderate to severe RA, for whom methotrexate did not work well. It can reduce pain, swelling, and further joint damage, even without methotrexate. Xeljanz XR can lower your ability to fight infections. Levels have happened. Your doctor should perform blood tests before you start and while taking Xeljanz XR and monitor certain liver tests. Tell your doctor if you are in a region where fungal infections are common and if you have had TB, hepatitis B or C, or are prone to infections. Xeljanz XR can reduce the symptoms of RA even without methotrexate. Ask your rheumatologist about Xeljanz XR.
Dynamic performance, so you can own the road. Aggressive styling, so you can break away from everyone else. The bold Lexus IS. Experience amazing.
Thanks to you, Ace was recognized with its 11th straight J.D. Power Award for customer satisfaction.
To say thanks, we're giving you 20% off throughout the store.
And as always, the help is free.
Save 20% on select items this Friday through Sunday only.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
If you're a guy over 40, take it from me, Frank Thomas. Nugenics will help you feel like the man you used to be.
Right, like that stuff actually works.
Hey, buddy, up here. The key ingredient in Nugenics is clinically researched to totally work. That's why Nugenics is the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Hey, buddy, check it out. My workout's a lot better. I'm feeling stronger and more energetic with a lot more drive. I'm back to being the big hurt. You still don't believe me? Just send a text. Get a complimentary bottle. Come on. You're stuck in park right now. That's right. Time to shift into drive again. And trust me, she'll like the difference too. Hey guys, it's time to start your engine.
To get your complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, text GIANT to 321-321. Samples are not available in stores, so text GIANT to 321-321.
SmartMouth Activated Mouthwash is clinically proven to neutralize smelly sulfur gas and keep it from coming back for 12 hours with each rinse. For truly clean breath that lasts 24 hours, you need to use SmartMouth Activated Mouthwash.
Dry mouth? Use Smart Mouth with Moisture Lock technology. It's the only dry mouth rinse that relieves bad breath for 12 hours with only one use. Available at drugstores, supermarkets, and elsewhere.
Fox News Channel on Sirius XM. Your favorite shows on Channel 114. Plus, every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7. Channel 115.
So breaking tonight, the White House just released its proposal to solve the immigration issue. And this is what's inside. The headline, a pathway to citizenship for nearly 2 million young illegal immigrants. That is more than double the number of Dreamers who were enrolled in the DACA program that President Trump terminated last fall. $25 billion trust fund for the border wall system. It also ends the visa lottery program and eliminates the extended family chain migration by limiting family sponsorships to only spouses and minor children. Here now, Mark Thiessen, American Enterprise Institute scholar and Fox News contributor, and Emily Tish Sussman, campaign director for the Center for American Progress Action Fund and a Democratic strategist. So, Emily, it looks like there's quite a bit in here for both sides.
I wouldn't exactly categorize it that way. Look, President Trump caused this chaos by needlessly ending the DACA program, then tried to have it always by saying he has massive compassion for these young people.
Can you just go back
but
and
then
answer the question, Emily, because I'm asking you to respond to the 4 things that are here. You've got double the number of Dreamers, being allowed to stay in the country. I would think you would be jumping up and down about that.
And that piece is actually great. It's something that people from both sides of the aisle really want to see happen.
So what piece don't you like?
But there's
specifically
I don't like basically every other piece of it. First of all, if it's going to put $25 million in for border security, what happened to Mexico paying for it? A little bit unclear on that.
So you don't
want that's exactly right.
But
look, I
so you don't want a secure border,
because
most Democrats have been voting in favor of a secure border. They want to have a secure southern border. They've been voting along those lines for years and years. So you don't want that.
Look, Democrats are saying no. Democrats are saying that's a piece that can be on the table. Even from Republicans, they're saying that's more than twice what's actually necessary. But more than that, this is a total wish list of going after family reunification programs. It would end up limiting our legal immigration programs so much that it would take us back to a time where we're really picking and choosing based on race and national origin.
Let's let Mark
and it's really it's an
so Mark, I would say
list.
that the White House may have thought they were proffering an idea that might find some somewhere to get together. If Emily represents the Democratic Party, I would say no.
Well, if Emily represents the Democratic Party, what it means is the Democrats don't want a deal, okay? Because the reality is what Donald Trump did today, I mean, just compare the negotiating positions that the two sides have put out this week. Donald Trump just offered a path to citizenship for 1.8 million illegal immigrants in this country. That's double the DACA population. That includes not just the people who applied for DACA, but anyone who is eligible for DACA. And not just legalization, which is what people were discussing before, a path to citizenship. That is something that makes his base very, very uncomfortable. But he's willing to go out there and go out on a limb and do that. That is leadership. Now, you compare that to what Chuck Schumer. So you compare that to what Chuck Schumer did this week. Chuck Schumer held a press conference where he announced money for the wall is off the table. There's not going to be a deal without money for the wall. So you have one side that is trying to reach a deal, trying to be reasonable, and the other side that is in complete tailspin because their base is in an uproar because they got nothing for their stupid government shutdown.
Based on what we saw over the past several days, Emily, I think that Mark may be right, because it looks like, the president is leaning very hard in the direction that is going to tick off 38% of the people who support him in his base. So he's really putting himself out there. If Democrats don't want to meet him on this, it's going to look like they are not interested in solving the Dreamer problem.
Exactly.
Look, 72% of Republicans supporting a pathway to citizenship for Dreamers, I would hardly say is pissing off a large percentage of his base. And putting together what's always been on the table is Dreamers for Wall, right? Like, that's always been out there. And in fact, that's a concept that's supported by conservative Republican senators. Senators Mike Lee, Senators Thune. They're saying that is a realistic deal. I don't know why the White House had to throw that out and come back with something that is totally unrealistic and then try to frame it as being something that people would come to the table.
Your major, what I'm reading in between the lines here is that your major problem is the amount of money for border security. Is that what you would like to see changed?
I'd say that's one piece of it, but I actually think it's the overhaul of the immigration system as a whole that is the bigger problem. Limiting immigration so much that families cannot be brought back together, that's a huge problem. We're talking about, I mean, these are core Americans.
Spouses and children. Spouses and children are in.
Country together.
Spouses and children are involved in this. Go ahead, Mark.
No, that's factually incorrect. It's limiting chain migration to the nuclear family. Look, most of these reforms that Emily's so upset about actually have bipartisan support. That we need we need a system that is driven by the needs of our country and not just chain migration. But the reality is, look, if they think $25 billion is too much just for 1.8 million people, one of the great negotiating positions is enlarge the problem. Say, okay, we're willing to give you $25 million, but let's talk about comprehensive immigration reform. Now all of a sudden you're talking, and I bet you Donald Trump would go for that. But the Democrats are the way Emily's presenting this, the way Chuck Schumer is behaving, it really sounds like they don't want a deal. They want the issue. And Donald Trump is willing to solve the issue.
Emily, last word.
Yeah, I'm not really sure we're coming up with this idea that Democrats are not coming to the table. If this is such a moral issue that has bipartisan support, it's unclear to me why the terms of the deal keep changing. Or if you're guessing what Donald Trump would be for, that's been incredibly unclear this entire time. If there is a moral case, then take care of the dreamers. Don't try to put together an entire wish list that comes from every piece of the administration.
All right, gotta go. Thank you guys very much. Good to see you all tonight. So a chilling investigation is finding that our nation's opioid epidemic is being fueled in part by bad actors taking advantage of the U.S. postal system, and they need to get on board. So what is Congress doing about it? We're going to take a look and talk to a dad and a former police officer who lost his own beautiful child to this awful addiction. He wants to speak to you tonight, and we will give him a forum. Plus, able-bodied adults on Medicaid be required to work if they can. One state is saying yes, and they are facing serious pushback. Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin joins us next.
Your heart doesn't only belong to you.
Bye, Grandpa.
And if you have heart failure, entrusting your heart to Entresto may help. Entresto is a heart failure medicine that helps improve your heart's ability to pump blood to the body. In the largest heart failure study ever, Entresto was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital compared to a leading heart failure medicine. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren. If you've had angioedema while taking an ACE or ARB medicine, don't take Entresto. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto and help make more tomorrows possible.
I just found this amazing website called Adore Me. They have tons of bras, PJs, underwear, all from petite to plus.
I know your phone's out, so look them up.
Valentine's Day special. Your first set starts at just $14.95 with VIP membership at adoreme.com.
I'm on the move all day long, and sometimes I don't eat the way I should. So I drink Boost.
Boost high-protein nutritional drink has 15 grams of protein to help maintain muscle and 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D. Boost high protein. Be up for it.
I was up and down with my weight my entire life.
When diets don't work, it's easy to quit. From a top diet 7 years straight comes the new Rapid Results.
If you see immediate results, you stick with it.
Lose up to 16 pounds in just 4 weeks. With one-on-one support, you'll see change fast. Eat 6 times a day. The secret is what you eat and when. Call 1-800-96-JENNY and start Rapid Results for $16 plus the cost of food and get $70 in free food. Hurry, call now.
This is Bill. Bill's in sales by day, but Ring lets him fight crime at night.
Tell us, Bill, how'd you do it?
Well, I was at home one evening watching my favorite program, and I got a Ring notification, and I see this guy in my backyard, but I don't really know what to do, so I just go, he ran like the Dickens.
I may know karate, but Bill knows crazy.
I do know a little karate.
The Ring Spotlight Cam keeps your home and your neighborhood safe.
More quality inclusions than any other resorts on the planet. Save up to 65%. Call 1-800-SANDALS.
I finally figured out what car to get. Now, where to find the best deal?
You know, why don't I help?
What's that?
Car Gurus. Color?
Silver. Car Gurus?
Low miles, 2 grand below market value, 5-star dealer rating. Ooh, I'm beat.
Let's do it your way then.
I heard that.
Car Gurus. Find great deals from top-rated dealers near you at cargurus.com.
Hi, I'm Johnny Bench. After a Hall of Fame career, it's no wonder why I use Blue Emu Arthritis Cream. Blue Emu's non-greasy, deep-penetrating formula gets down deep into those joints for big-time pain relief. Blue Emu, it works fast and you won't stink.
Do you need the most trusted battery for your son's favorite toy? Maybe not. Maybe you could trust he wouldn't leave the upstairs water running. Or you could just trust Duracell.
Today, the Republican majority announced Medicaid work requirements that are purpose-built. Their purpose is to chip away at our nation's promise of dignity and security for working families. It's really sad. The elderly, disabled, pregnant women, and children will all suffer from today's draconian decree, and that we will fight.
That was House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi earlier this month slamming a new Trump administration plan that allows states to impose work requirements on some able-bodied Medicaid recipients. Kentucky quickly became the first state to act on that change. It is now being challenged in court by the Southern Poverty Law Center. Earlier this evening, I spoke with Republican Kentucky Governor Matt Bevin. You know, first of all, I just have to say that our hearts go out to all of you for the heartbreaking school shooting that took the lives of 2 beautiful 15-year-old students. Obviously, the nation is thinking of them as they see you, because when you hear Kentucky, you think about these 2 young people. How's everybody doing there, Governor?
Thank you for asking. It's heartbreaking. This has been a very heavy week for everyone in Kentucky, very specifically for those that are in Benton, that are down in Marshall County. For those families, the heartbreak is literally indescribable. But people are doing well. It is a very close-knit community. It is a faith-filled community, and with faith and family, people are uniting in ways that are impressive in light of the tragedy that has struck. But there's a lot of healing yet ahead of us. It will take a long time.
Well, they should know that everybody is praying for them across this country, and I hope they can feel that.
Thank you.
So, Governor, as we heard in the introduction here, your state is the first one to take advantage of a new program which would have Medicaid recipients work or volunteer 80 hours over the course of a month. It has now been reacted by with a lawsuit by the Southern Poverty Law Center. How would this program work? How do you see it as benefiting the people of Kentucky?
You know, it's interesting. When I listened to the comment that was made in the entryway to this by Nancy Pelosi, it was the exact, audio embodiment of Seema Verma's comment about the soft bigotry of low expectations. I find Representative Pelosi's comments to be insulting to the people of Kentucky, to working people everywhere in America. What the intent is not simply just through work or volunteering. It could also be through education. It could also be through specific job training. It could also be through taking care of someone in the neighborhood or in the family even that needs help. In no way, shape, or form will chip away at those that are traditionally eligible for Medicaid. What it does do is create opportunity for people who need help, and not simply to be patronized. People don't want to be treated like so many vassals by the federal government. And so I'm excited by Kentucky's opportunity to showcase for America what dignity looks like when extended to those who just need a little help.
Yeah, there are 10 other states that are right behind you that want to also take advantage of this program. I mean, it's stunning when you think about the fact that Medicaid, which which was created in 1965 for families on welfare and low-income seniors, now makes up 1 in 5 Americans in terms of recipients and 25% of people in Kentucky. But part of this lawsuit, one of the claimants is a man named Ronnie Stewart, who's 62 years old. He says he lost his job. He can't find another job. We all know how much poverty exists in parts of Kentucky and Appalachia. There's not a whole lot around some of these people in terms of infrastructure to find jobs, to find places to volunteer and the like. What do you say to Ronnie Stewart?
There's not a community in Kentucky where there is not a job or a volunteer opportunity or an educational opportunity or a training opportunity or an ability to serve someone in need. There's not one community, not in Mr. Stewart's community or any other. And I don't know him personally, and I feel that he's being used by people who have an agenda, and it's not what's in his best interest or that of Kentucky or that of America, for that matter. And again, I find it insulting that people would try to hijack those in need and to do it for their own personal benefit. It's a shame to see this. We expected there would be lawsuits. This is what liberals do. They run to the courts. They try to find like-minded people. They try to run things up the flagpole and hope to get a victory. But the law is on our side. Human dignity is on our side, and we will prevail in this. And Kentucky and America will be better for it.
Well, it's interesting. You use the word dignity in terms of supporting this program. We heard Nancy Pelosi use it in complaining about this program. And everybody wants what you want for these people in terms of returning their dignity, giving them a chance to better their own lives. And we're going to be watching this program very closely. We thank you very much for being with us tonight, Governor. Many thanks.
Can I say one quick thing, Martha?
Sure.
Can I say one quick thing? That is this. I grew up well below the poverty level. I grew up with no access to health care. I am literally the embodiment of exactly what she was speaking about, what everyone is talking about, the very people that we're trying to help. And I know from personal, firsthand experience that it is insulting to assume that people like I was for the first 20-something years of my life cannot do for themselves, that in fact a little bit of an on-ramp and an assistance is not enough. It's insulting to keep people as third-class citizens, and it is now nearly a third of those in Kentucky. It's not acceptable. I don't think that it's appropriate, and we are going to do better for people because people like me, who I had the opportunity, others deserve it as well.
You have a very strong personal story. Governor, thank you so much. It's good to see you tonight.
Thank you very much, Martha.
So coming up next, Congress is cracking down on the opioid crisis.
It's shocking that we are still so unprepared to police the mail arriving into our country.
But lawmakers say that large volumes of the drug come in the mail, ordered on the internet from China, pouring into U.S. mailboxes. This former narcotics police officer's daughter died of an overdose, and now he has a message for everyone. Tonight, Kevin Simmers shares his story right after this.